supposed to be used to buy motorbikes, to procure motorbikes, and print party posters and stickers for all our parliamentary candidates. Those monies were supposed to be used to pay our polling agents across the country. Unfortunately, as we speak, almost all the polling agents who stood for the party or sacrificed for the party at various polling stations have not been paid. As we speak, none of the parliamentary candidates who contested on the ticket of the PNC actually received even a single motorbike. And we don't know why those monies were actually given to the party and those monies were not actually used for its intended purpose.
And
so
your checks at the party is indicating what?
Our checks at the party's treasury clearly shows that indeed those monies never came to the party, but were actually received by some individuals. We want the leadership of the party
individuals of the party?
Some individuals in the party. So we want the leadership of the party to actually investigate the matter. As we speak, the party should have been going through its polling station elections, constituency elections, and regional elections. But however, unfortunately, the party is in a financial distress and do not have money to actually run all these elections. And we think that 1.6 million Ghana cedi is a lot of money that if the party has in its account, could do a lot of good for the party. So as young people in the party who are so passionate about the progress of the party, we think that it is time for leadership to actually sit up and investigate this matter. Leadership actually owes us a responsibility to find out who received those monies and what those monies were used for.
Right. Akani, once you are out in the media, it means that you have made attempts to get leadership of the party to tell you where that money is. What did they tell you?
As a matter of fact, our group have made attempts. As a matter of fact, I personally happen to be a coordinator of the group. I have filed a petition or a complaint officially to the party, and to the party, that's the party's leader, that's the national chairman of the party. Unfortunately, however, none of our petitions have been addressed.
No, tell me precisely. Your petition was in a written form. You're saying that it's not been responded to.
Our petition have not been responded to as we speak, and we think that the leadership owes us a responsibility to respond to our petition, and it's been long overdue. It's been long overdue. We think the leadership must investigate this matter because 1.6 million Ghana cedi is a lot of money for the party.
Chairman of the People's National Convention, Alhaji Ahmed Ramadan, is joining me over the telephone. Hello, Alhaji.
Hello. Hello.
Alhaji, what do you know about this?
Well, thank you very much. As far as I'm concerned, the party is not aware of the existence of anybody called the convention forum. We don't have it in the party.
I see.
And then again, if somebody says they have submitted a report, a written report to us, it hasn't gotten to me. I have not seen it.
I see.
Okay.
Alhaji, just before we go on, I'm going to ask you to lower the volume of your TV. It's giving me very terrible feedback.
Right.
But Alhaji, they say some 1.6 million Ghana cedis is missing.
Now, where from the 1.6 million? Nobody has told me about the existence of any 1.6 million. From where? And to who was it given? I'm not aware. As chairman and leader of the party, I'm not aware.
Money the party was able to raise?
The party was able to raise which money? Because, is it a kind of fundraising or dues paid? Because people hardly pay dues. Nobody pays dues. And we haven't done any, serious fundraising that can give us any money close to this. So I honestly don't know where this money really came from.
And so, if all of these is untrue, what does the PNC intend to do about Akani and his group?
Well, as a leader, I will call him to order. I will certainly invite him to the office to explain to me those things that I don't know about, and then I will seek real proof from him before I can say anything. But as at now, I am not aware of any 1.6 million.
So the party's never had 1.6 million Ghana cedis before?
I'm not aware. I don't know. I have never seen that big money before.
I see. Thank you very much.
I don't know who even gave out that money. So I will certainly invite Akani so we sit together, and then he should tell me where this money came from and who had it. Yes, as I sit today, I will tell you I'm not aware of it. And this kind of brouhaha will not help our party. This is the time that one needs to have a sober reflection of how best we can bring ourselves closer and grow this party. We are approaching, some other Congress efforts. This kind of brouhaha will not help us. So I will certainly call Akani. He ranks as my son. I'll call him and talk with him and then hear his side of the story. But honestly, I'm not aware of any 1.6. I don't know where it came from. And
why do you think Akani will just come up and make such a dominant statement against a party he belongs to?
Well, I don't know. Probably he will answer that best. But as far as I'm concerned, I don't know about it. I have not heard anything from anybody. I don't know the source of that money. So I will talk to Akani.
How soon?
This issue ought to have been in-house. He should have declared it with us. We discussed it. I heard him saying that they submitted report which hadn't been given any attention. There was no written report to me. So please, I think this issue I will listen to him and see if there is any merit in it.
But let's look at this way. Has the PNC made proper accounts to its members and perhaps executives?
No, we do. We do our accounting. Normally we render accounts at the Congress, and our Congress is over. And since the Congress debate, we haven't had any reason to give any account. And if, for whatever reason, arising out of this brouhaha, when we meet the next time at the National Executive, we will let people know what the situation of the party account is. But honestly, I don't know about it, and it hasn't come to the notice of the party officially, no.
All right, Alhaji, thank you very much. Alhaji Ahmed Ramadan is chairperson for the People's National Convention. Now, the Ghana Highway Authority says the implementation of the new axle load limit is intended to save the country from spending huge sums of money on maintenance. According to the Deputy Chief Executive Administration, Ghana Highway Authority, Francis Hammond, they currently spend up to $8,000 per kilometer on road repairs, which he adds is not sustainable. Members of the Accra Sand and Stone Contractors Association earlier gave government a 2-week ultimatum to revert its decision on the implementation of the new axle load limits on tracks, or they would hit the streets in protest.
We have had a few meetings with some of them, the stone contractors, the transit vehicles, and a whole lot of them. We've had meetings with them. And the bottom line of the situation is that we really have to protect our road infrastructure. The studies done all over the world, particularly in South Africa, indicates that if you don't control your axle loads properly on the road, you spend an average of about $8,000 per kilometer, over and above what you ordinarily spend on maintenance of the roads. So what it means is that if we allow things to go on the way they are, the whole country will have to cough up about $8,000 on every kilometer of road a year in the country. So let's weigh this against what demands are coming from elsewhere. And then we all as a country will find the way forward. But we think that it's in the best interest of the country, as is done elsewhere all over the world, to really control the axle loads on the roads, to protect the infrastructure, to give it a much longer lease of life. We are aware they've made protests. We have met them. We've told them the situation on the ground, how far we can go. Beyond a certain limit, we cannot do anything. We cannot do much, because we have to protect the country, we have to protect the investment that have been made in the roads. Yes, I think we have given them more than enough, as large window as possible for them to pass through. Because of last year, it was education all over the country from region to region, and then close the latter part of last year, we met at the Tema port, and then we said that we're going to start this new regime from January 1st, and then they pleaded, it was a general consensus that fine, a little bit more time for education was needed, and therefore at least 1 month further education was needed for the truckers and then the transit goods people. And they are presented at the meeting so that they were going to take these things up, so that all those who are not aware of the timing of the implementation of this, they will be made aware. So the whole of last year was for education and then sensitization. And this year we have given at least 1 more month beyond what we originally intended to be the cutoff point. And we come to February at the end of the month, then they need a few more 3 more months. So the issue is, when are we going to have the cutoff?
Anthony Agbamehia is chairman for the Tema-Accra Tipa Mother Union of the Sand and Stone Contractors Association of Ghana. He's here with me in the studio. Thank you very much, Anthony, for joining us here. But the Highway Authority says that it can't go back on the new axle load limit. Before you react to that, how many more days for the 2-week ultimatum to end?
It's about left with 8 days now.
8 days yes, more for the 2-week ultimatum to end. They can't go back on the decision because they have to save our roads. How does that change the story?
That is true. We quite agree with them, but they sometimes government as an institution sometimes bring policies that its enforcement becomes problem. Specifically on the tipper trucks, it's a different issue. We had a meeting with the Highway Authority, and we raised certain issues, like we're not having skills, we do this and that. We gave them instances of the nature of our material, and it is not bad and so forth. We raised quite a lot of issues that we believe if they should have taken it into consideration to see to it, so that like by now we believe government would have set standard, which I believe the tipper trucks won't be having problem. You see, like the cocoa people or the the other haulage groups, they deal in materials that are bad. Even they are crying of what is going on because there's fuel increment, and this fuel increment will affect the economy. As on our side, what we are saying is this: we are not alone that it will affect. It affect the other haulage people. It will affect masons, carpenters, plumbers, electricians, whatever in the building industry. So we are pleading to them, they should take a second look at, specifically on the tipper truck, they should take a second look so that we sit down, they come out with an analysis so that we believe importation of tipper trucks should be of a standard, so that with the tipper truck we won't be having any problem with this other weighing thing. So if authority will not turn deaf ears to what we the tipper guys are saying, they should call us. We come back again. We tell them our problem. In fact, we have been kicking against this.
You see, with the issue of the fact that you don't have skills from where you work, the Highway Authority said you can go and check just your empty truck, the weight of your empty truck, and then you can gauge from experience in the business how the level of the sand or the stone or the chippings you carry.
Okay. That can never be possible. It can't be possible. Why am I saying this? We have a huge bucket that you are going to fill. Now, minus your empty weight, you go to the sand pit. The machine pulls, the material into your bucket. How do you determine the weight of the material? Even let's assume if it were to be only sand that we carry, they may be finding us and up to 3 or 4 times, you may get to the correct or the exact weight. But it can never be. I am saying this. Rain, the weather can even change, or nature can even change the weight of our material. So they should really take this into consideration. You have a huge bucket, a big volume, and then you load to the half. You get there, they find out that you are being caught. You pay the 300. Tomorrow you go the same till you know the exact point. So that is unfair.
So now you're striking. You're on a sit-down strike.
Yes, we are on.
But who is that affecting? Is it not you?
It is affecting us, but it will go to the extent of the economy. I mentioned it will affect masons, plumbers, block molders, electric, name them.
Oh, but the way gets the sand and the stone and the chippings themselves.
You mean?
These people you have mentioned, they'll go and get those things themselves because...
they would do that because they are floating drivers in. But when they start arresting them too, they will pack.
When do you intend to go back to working? Because you need to survive.
Yes, we will do that. We will have to go to back. We have to go to work. But we are telling government he should consider and then retake a second look. If not, maybe we intended going on demonstration, but which the police call and then advise us. We agreed.
I see. But so no more demonstration.
We have. He said we should meet the minister. So we have written letters. Maybe tomorrow we'll send a letter to book an appointment to meet the minister one-on-one, so that the issues that we had with his people, we will then tell him they have been lined up here. They shouldn't run away from the fact. I wish they were to be here to answer this for themselves, because we raised them 2 years back. We started raising this, so they should have put ours into consideration and then come out with something, unique that will suit we the keeper guys.
I see. Anthony, thank you very much for joining us. Anthony Agbemehia is with the Tema branch of the Sand and Stone Contractors Association. You're watching News Today, and I'll be right back. Glad you stayed on. Our delegation sent on behalf of the royal family of Apasayelom of Atol Babisis today met with President John Mahama to officially announce the death of Naba Martin Adongo Abilba III, Paramount Chief of Bolga Traditional Area. He died on the 26th of September 2013 after a short illness. Naba Abilba III, during his reign as Paramount Chief, did his best to uplift the traditional area through education. He introduced the Bolgatanga Area Girl Child Education Fund, which supported the girl child. He also abolished certain traditional practices which are no longer in tune with modern trends. These included female genital mutilation, for which he was recognized by the United Nations. The chief of Yoroko, Naba Awone Azebere Johnson, spokesperson for the delegation, stated that the eldest son of the former Paramount Chief Raymond Alafia Abilba has been appointed as regent for the Bolgatanga scheme.
We are here today, Your Excellency, to formally announce to you with deep sorrow the passing on of our dear father and the Paramount Chief of the Bolgatanga Traditional Area, Naba Martin Abilba III. Our father ruled for 41 years. The Bolga Naba Martin Abilba III will forever be remembered as an ambassador and passionate advocate of peace. That through peace, development will follow. He often referred to Bolgatanga as the Geneva of Ghana because of the peace that prevailed. The Bolgatanga Naba's death is a great loss to his family, the Bolgatanga traditional area, the Upper East region, and the entire nation at large. He left behind 8 wives and 45 children and many grandchildren.
Just a few months earlier, he had paid me a personal visit at my residence, and had discussed issues of concern to him. And before I could get the feedback back to him on the issues that we had discussed, I was taken aback when I heard the sad news that he had passed away. And so on behalf of myself, because of my personal relationship with him, On behalf of the government and the people of Ghana, I wish to express our sincerest condolences to the family, immediate family, and to all the people of the Bolgatanga traditional area, and say that government asks you to take heart and that we are with you in this moment of grief. We are happy at the manner in which you have handled things since his passing, and we know that knowing the character of the people of the Bolgatanga traditional area, there will be a smooth succession as Naba Martin Abilba himself would have wanted it. And so we wish to state that we'll be with you in the period of mourning, and we'll be waiting to hear from you what the funeral arrangements are.
Health authorities in the Asante-Achem South district of the Ashanti region have initiated investigation into claims that water from a borehole at Adomfe has medicinal properties. Officials from the District Health Directorate have already visited the town to take samples of the water for testing, following media reports of people trooping there to buy water for healing purposes. Patrons of what has now been referred to as the holy water have been given testimonies of how water from the well has worked miracles for them. Mohammed Nuruddin is Joynews as Ashanti regional correspondent. He's joined us over the telephone. Hello, Mohammed.
Hello, Kamini.
Have you visited Adomfe yourself?
Yeah, Kamini, I went there today. I went there today, and residents are having great enthusiasm, especially when they heard the news in the media about the discovery of the water. And as I'm speaking now, outsiders are trooping in to the town. They also have a share of the water. Some of them are saying they have some complications, and they are coming to drink, take some of the water, and then drink and see if they would also be healed. Kamini, I can say that residents are now drinking the water all the time, and because their colleagues have testified that the water heals them, it has become more like their breakfast.
So what were some of the stories you heard about this healing power of the water?
Okay.
Share with us some of the stories you heard about the healing power of the water. Hello, Mohammed.
Coming in.
Yeah, I'm asking that you share with us some of the stories you may have heard about the healing power of the water.
Yeah. I saw one retired policeman who told me that who claims that he took the water, he drank the water, and that he was told by the doctor that he had hypertension. So after he took the water, he was healed, and it has gone. So he has gone back to fetch more of the water to send it to Accra. Actually, he's from Accra. He's a resident, but he stays in Accra. So he has gone back to fetch more of the water and then send it to Accra. A lot of people there have told me that they have drank it and it has healed them. One woman who told me he was suffering from, he was having a eye problem. After taking the water, it has gone. So all of them are there trying to get more of the water to keep it for their family.
So this holy water, what does it look like?
It looks like the normal water that we see, the normal borehole water that we see. There is no any changes in it as to the color or anything like that, but just like the normal water that we see.
Have you tasted it?
Thank you.
Mohammed, did you taste the water on your visit?
Come again?
Did you have your share of the water on your visit? Did you drink some of it?
Actually, when I was going, I didn't go with my gallon, but even if I had gone with my gallon, it would have taken me more than 5 days before I would get mine, because a lot of people are there, and some are from different parts of the country, some from eastern region and all over. So they are saying until they get the water, they will not leave the place. And I'm thinking that community leaders there are planning to mechanize it. And there have been some concerns that if they mechanize it, there would be a change. The water might change. So,
explain mechanize. Hello, Mohammed.
Yeah, come in.
Explain mechanize.
It is not mechanized, yeah.
What's the meaning of mechanize? Mechanizing the water.
Okay, what they're going to do, they're saying they will want to buy a poly tank, a bigger one, and then they will get a machine that will pump the water straight into the poly tank.
Oh, I see.
So that those who come outside the town would get their share of the water. And, you know...
Nuruddin, we have to go. And so quickly, tell me, has the Health Directorate come up with any response after they took samples of the water to test?
Not yet, Kamini, not yet.
I see. We'll leave it there. Thank you very much. Mohammed Nuruddin is a Joynews correspondent. He joined us from the Ashanti region. Let's do some business now. And government has no money to give to the National Food and Buffer Stock Company. The Agriculture Minister Clement Kofi Humado disclosed legislative processes are, however, underway to privatize the company and set up a commodity exchange system.
The National Food and Buffer Stock Company's mandate is basically to buy farm produce from farm gates as ready markets for farmers and to also store up food for emergency purposes. But the organization has recently decried its 15 million cedi seed capital with which it has operated since 2010.
We lack warehousing, silos that were handed over, and the drying sites that are needed for grain management and conditioning are in a woeful state. Okay, most of the warehouses are run down and need to be rehabilitated.
They are expecting a major capital injection from government.
We are supposed to be making profits, but it is quite marginal. We are there to help in disaster management. We are there to help in relief operations with our stocks. I mean, if as a nation we are really serious about having a working and food reserve agency, then I don't think this is the way to go about it. I'll say that under the circumstances we are doing our best, but we could do better if we are better resourced financially.
The Agric Minister, Clement Humado, says that will not happen.
We as government don't have any more money to give NAFCO. Either they open up for private participation and capital injection, or they participate in the the commodity exchange, or both. We hope that by early next year, we should be able to establish the commodity exchange. And that will take care of most of the problems we are having now, because NAFCO will become one of the license buying agencies. We will also accredit other license buying agencies to be mopping up grains from the rural areas. If NAFCO, for example, opens itself up, that they want to be part of the commodity exchange, and they need private sector participation, I tell you, people will put their money there.
Under the new commodity exchange system, which Ghana seeks to copy from Ethiopia, representatives of both farmers and buyers will negotiate prices, make payment, and take delivery of the produce.
Yeah. And as soon as the deals are concluded, the buyers put the money down and the sellers make an offer and it goes. So you don't have grains stuck in warehouses for a long time. It's moving, and as soon as it's moving, others are replacing it. So
Government believes this will resolve the financial predicament of the buffer stock company. Currently, the buffer stock company has no budgetary allocation. Gifty Andopia, Joynews, Acquah.
Virgin Atlantic says it will drop its Sydney to Hong Kong route from 5th May amid increasing costs and challenging business environments. The move will leave British Airways as the last remaining European carrier to fly to Australia via Asia. Virgin said it would continue to offer services between Hong Kong and London, but that some staff in Australia and Hong Kong would be affected. The move could be a boost for some Asia-Pacific carriers. Virgin Atlantic, which has offered daily flights from London's Heathrow Airport to Sydney via Hong Kong, said its final flight from Sydney to Hong Kong would be on 5th of May, while its last flight from Hong Kong to Sydney will depart on 4th May. U.S. banking giant Morgan Stanley has agreed to pay $1.2 billion to settle a lawsuit over the sale of mortgage-backed securities. The money will be paid to the U.S. regulator that oversees Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac mortgage guarantee firms. U.S. taxpayers had to rescue the two firms in 2008 in a bailout worth $187 billion during the financial crisis. Morgan Stanley joins other banks, including JP Morgan Chase and Deutsche Bank, in settling with the regulator. The Federal House and Finance Agency said the banking giant will add an additional $150 million to its legal reserves as a result of the settlement with the U.S. regulator. Japanese car maker Toyota is forecasting record annual operating profits as the weaker yen helps to boost sales abroad. For the financial year ending in March, it expects operating profit to reach 2.4 trillion Japanese yen, about $23.7 billion. The continuing weakness in the yen also helped Toyota post better than expected earnings for the third quarter, with operating profit of 600 billion yen. Now that is nearly 5 times higher than earnings in the same quarter a year earlier. The car manufacturer said its revised forecast was due to progress in its recent profits improvement activities through cost reduction and marketing efforts. Commuters in London are experiencing rush hour chaos as underground workers strike over proposed job cuts and ticket office closures. The RMT and TSSA unions started the 48-hour walkout at 200 GMT on Tuesday, 2100 GMT on Tuesday. The unions want Transport for London to suspend plans to close all ticket offices and cut 950 jobs. The authority claims the measures are needed to modernize and save about 50 million a year. A limited service is planned on the tube until Friday morning. The U.S. Senate has passed a long overdue farm bill that cuts food aid for the poor but help farmers during hard times. Senators approved the bill Tuesday by a margin of 68 to 32, a week after the House passed it. The bill now goes to the White House for President Barack Obama's signature. The bill also ends controversial direct payments to farmers, even if they do not grow anything or make money when prices go up. The subsidies are being replaced by a crop insurance program to help farmers cope during droughts or when prices fall. Obama said the bill, while not perfect, contained a variety of common sense reforms that he said would make a positive difference for the country. That's it for business. There's sports next and is brought to you by Tigo and Cowbell. Time now for sports. And First Capital Plus, a Ghanaian bank, has signed up as a sponsor of the Premier League. The 5-year deal worth $10 million awards First Capital Plus Bank the title as headline sponsor of the league. According to the GFA, the deal with the wholly Ghanaian-owned bank for the sponsorship of the Premier League will commence from the 2014-2015 football season.
The initial tenure is for 5 years for us to experiment and wait and see, though marriages are not for experimentation. We are very delighted about this relationship, and we would like to congratulate the board, management and staff of First Capital Plus Bank for agreeing to sponsor the Ghana Premier League. That decision, I believe, is born out of a good management, good leadership and foresight on the part of the management and board of the bank. As you are no doubt aware, Ghanaians are very passionate about football, and anyone who decides to support and sponsor football is supporting the passion of this country. The Ghana Premier League has been in existence for a long time, but for the first half of this season, we went without a sponsor. The partnership with First Capital Plus Bank is therefore a timely one.
The First Capital Plus Premier League will this afternoon see Accra Hearts of Oak stay at the Accra Sports Stadium to welcome Wa All Stars in an encounter which will see Hearts battle to reverse their 3-0 defeat in the first round. The official kickoff time is 3:30 p.m. Now, the referees committee has appointed Samuel Jesse to officiate the top liner in this midweek action. Meanwhile, all four clubs representing the country in both CAF Champions League and Confederation Cup will have their matches postponed to February 12. England, where John Terry is ready to accept a one-year contract at Chelsea, only if it means prolonging his playing career at Stamford Bridge. The club captain, showing some of the best form of his career, comes to the end of his current 5-year, £150,000 a week deal in June. Terry, 33, had wanted a 2-year deal, but was told Chelsea policy for players over the age of 30 is to offer only 12 months. He has accepted this and is hoping to start his 17th season as a professional with Chelsea in August. Anyway, that's it for sports, brought to you by Tigo and Cowbell. Elsewhere on News Today, the government of South Sudan is insisting it is democratic. A day after a leading opponent said he had formed a resistance group to fight for free elections in the war-torn country. Riek Machar said his new group is against what he calls the regime of President Salva Kiir and said he wants to see democracy and pluralism in South Sudan. The country's ambassador to the U.S., John Alec Hawke, defended Kiir. According to the ambassador, the president is known for being inclusive and gave the example of Kiir integrating outside militia into South Sudan's army. The government has accused Machar of leading an alleged coup attempt in mid-December that set off weeks of deadly fighting, including clashes between pro- and anti-government troops and alleged ethnic violence between the Dinka and the Nua, the country's two largest tribes. We're still on the continent, and senior members of Rwandan Hutu rebel force based in Eastern Congo said on Tuesday they had started laying down their arms and were ready for talks with Kigali. But UN peacekeepers said they had seen no signs of disarmament. The claims by the FDLR rebel group came as UN forces in Democratic Republic of Congo prepared to target the insurgents in coming months. This was after a successful campaign alongside Congolese government troops against local Tutsi-led rebels last year. Rwanda has repeatedly rejected calls for talks with the rebels. The Rwandan rebels have been at the heart of 2 decades of conflict in Eastern Congo since Rwanda's genocide. Nearby Nigeria, spokesman for People's Democratic Party has appealed to former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, a party stalwart, to return to the ruling party after his sudden defection to the main opposition All Progressive Congress. Abdullahi Jallow, however, denied that the PDP is in crisis following high-profile defections that includes influential governors and legislators who announced they had joined the APC ahead of next year's presidential, legislative and local elections. The PDP has won every national election since 1999 when Nigeria returned to constitutional governance following years of military rule. Abubakar, announcing his defection from the ruling PDP, cited a lack of internal democracy, impunity and the refusal of the party to address concerns that led to the defection of the governors and legislators. experts are concerned about the spread of a new strain of bird flu that has already killed one woman in China. The 73-year-old from Nanshan City caught the H10N8 virus at a visit in a live poultry market, although it is not known for sure if this was the source of infection. The second person has since been infected in China's Jiangxi province. Scientists say this particular strain of influenza A virus has not been seen before. China in recent months has been coping with an outbreak of a similar influenza virus called H7N9, which has killed around a quarter of those infected. I wonder why they have such huge names for viruses. Now, in showbiz, people associated with showbiz have several visions for the industries, but are usually very reluctant to share for fear of wasting their time. But known for his love for the creative arts, Uncle Ibo White, the popular playwright, has been sharing his vision and ideas for the growth of the industry.
Okay, so you want a gospel song?
Known for numerous plays such as The Last Flight and Men Run, Women Cry, Uncle Ibo has been credited with reviving theatre, which many considered to have fizzled out. From his creative and inspirational storylines to his strict adherence to time when staging a production, Uncle Ibo can really be said to be setting standards for the Ghanaian entertainment industry. But what is he really hoping to achieve with the new standards he seems to be setting for the industry?
Banking, telecom, everything, transportation, we're losing all of it. We're losing all of it. The question is, would we also lose the arts? I'd like to see a nation, a country where there is a production or an exhibition every day of the week somewhere. Every day of the week. Not bourgeois production, world-class production and performance. We have the ability, we have the passion to do it. Why is it not happening? I have a dream that our creative industry will be so powerful, so vibrant, that 1 in 10 Ghanaian would work in that industry.
With his vision for the entertainment industry clearly spelled out, the question is, are we really giving the industry the attention it needs? Are we still going to ride on the same wings that have always let us down, or would we take advantage of the new year and help put some of Uncle Ibo's vision to work? Or would we sit and watch the showbiz industry go down? The answer ultimately lies with us. We can choose to take a step to bring about change, or be indifferent and watch our vibrant entertainment industry collapse.
And what is the definition of bojo production? We'll find that out perhaps in subsequent broadcasts. But in the meantime, 4 persons have been reportedly arrested as part of an investigation into the suspected heroin overdose death of actor Philip Seymour Hoffman. Some 350 bags of heroin were also seized during the arrest in Lower Manhattan. The Oscar-winning star 46 was found dead at his Greenwich Village home on Sunday with a syringe in his arm. Dozens of suspected heroin bags were found near his body. Some were stamped with the Ace of Hearts and the Ace of Spades, which are said to be brand names for heroin that street dealers use. He is reported to have withdrawn a total of $1,200 in 6 visits to a cash machine the day before his death. A trial date has been set for Justin Bieber after his recent arrest on charges of driving under influence. A Miami-Dade County judge set the date for the date for the trial is 3rd March. The Canadian singer's lawyers have already filed a written plea of not guilty. He is also charged with resisting arrest and driving with an invalid license. Bieber, 19, was arrested on 23rd January after police said he was racing his sports car on the Miami Beach streets. The singer is currently on bail set at $2,500, and prosecutors will formally file charges at an arraignment on 14th February.
That should be me. This is so sad. That should be me. That should be me. That should be me. Feeling your dreams. That should be me. Buying you gifts. This is so wrong. I can't go on. Do you believe that should be me?
You're watching News Today, our major story. Sand and Stone Tipper Track Association, the Acquah branch, still calls on the Ghana Highway Authority to review the axle load limits. Government of Ghana says legislative processes are, however, underway to privatize the National Food and Buffer Stock Company. Government of South Sudan is insisting it is democratic, even a day after former Vice President Riek Machar said he had formed the resistance group to fight for free elections in the war-torn country. There's more news on myjoyonline.com. Thank you very much for staying through the hour. My name is Kimini Nyamani Amano. Goodbye.